Art. So Kim starts out, no shoes, just a linen shift and little braids as you saw in the short. She gets into her lovely hardwood Depoy 6-board chest full of her clothes, and she pulls out her turn shoes. She has little wool inserts and a wool overdress. She puts up a linen dress that she's been working on. She had to fix that one, it's linen. Thought we were putting the red dress on.
Yeah, but I need an underdress on. That's not just a shift because it's bare arm.
Okay. So she's going to be red, green, and white. She's going to be all Christmassy. That's one of the things you'll see in a lot of medieval movies is that everybody's gray and brown and dirty and all the time. Medieval clothing was actually quite colorful. Of course, I'm wearing gray felted wool at the time, but this is one of my very soft, comfortable wool shirts, so I've got it on. She gets the first layer on. This is still very cute. And look at her wiggle in. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. She doesn't have her glasses on, so she can't see real well. But she has to adjust the things. And Kim usually does 14th century Spain, which is a little different than the rest of Europe. They're still in the midst of the Reconquista, so their fashion is a little bit different. But for the purposes of what we were doing for days and nights, we're doing general continental Western Europe with a little bit of this and that added in, just for identifiable flavor. This is a beautiful wool red dress. This was made, I forgot the lady's name. Oh man, but we got this off of a 14th century buy-sell trade group. She's a Polish lady, and she has made several things that we have either looked at or bought. And this was a 14th century overdress that she made. And it's all hand sewn and very pretty. And Kim is cinching up the sides. This is late 14th, early 15th century, and we do late 14th.
Easier when you have someone to help you, or
Yes, but I'm holding the camera and zooming in and such.
or can see.
She's also kind of blind, but isn't she cute? Now she's moving over to the table where she's going to continue getting dressed. How scandalous. We can see her bare feet and knees and shins. She's putting on her hosen. And the girls' hosen generally don't go up as high from what we've been told and seen in art. And now she has tiny garters that keep them from falling down because they don't have elastic. It's a little belt. That little squeak you hear in the background is not a wild animal. It is John running around being silly. As we have our little mini event here in the backyard over the past today and probably tomorrow. See soft leather soles, soft leather shoes. And here he comes screaming because he's always screaming. And now the hose are on. And she's putting on the belt. And this belt is from TLC Leathercraft with Armor and Castings Furniture. It is a ladies' 14th century, late 14th century girdle. It hooks onto this little chain. It has pearls and such on it. It is silver plated. It is very, very nice. It is kind of a middle nobility. Not quite very wealthy, but much more well-to-do than your average peasant. She is going to comb her hair out a little bit.
Oh, I forgot my other garter.
As John tries to sneak into the shot, past all of our medieval cups and bowls. And there is the little man in the back who needs to be quiet. She is securing the second garter. She's a 14th century table runner. And she starts to brush her hair with a medieval style comb. She is not wearing her glasses because they didn't have glasses like that. So having good eyesight is actually a very, very wonderful commodity for people now, and especially for people then, as spectacles were, if you could get anything, were an extreme luxury. And they don't have glass in them yet. As John sneaks into the shot. Hi, John. John, you need to move.
Snarl there. See if I can do this.
She's going to try to braid her hair.
I might not be able to.
Well, if you can't, just try to do the rest of it. So I don't know if it shows exactly the run time, but this is at 7 minutes, and she's doing this by herself. So most of the time, the higher status person someone was, the more likely they would have somebody helping them get dressed. She would have probably had somebody help her braid her hair already. So still, you're looking at 7 to 10 minutes just to get dressed, and the clothes were already out and ready to go. So it's way more complicated than throwing on shorts and a t-shirt.
Think of the higher ladies would have been like with even more stuff.
Yep. And Kim's not wearing layers upon layers and upon layers. She's still got a few things left to go, but this is still functional clothing for her to walk around and do things in. She's not expected to go work in a field in this, obviously, or, pound metal or chop logs or do manual labor. She's still dressed as somebody of status, of somebody who is at least the spouse or child of means, if not means themselves. But she's got functional clothing on. Mainly, you can tell that she can bend her arms in her clothes. You will see, and I was at a Robin Netherton lecture where they talked about how they don't think that a lot of the ladies could bend their arms all the way as tight as many of the clothes were, especially in the higher nobility. Now, is that 100% true? I don't know, but it makes sense sociologically to me as we move on to the second braid.
Well,
Since
a lot of my silk dresses, I can't move my arms in them.
it sounds like somebody is pounding on a car out front.
Oh no, I'm blind.
I don't know either. I'm in the middle of filming. I don't know what's going on. belt on the wee hem. And she's almost got the second braid done. Don't these braids have a name?
Temple loop.
Temple loop.
Because I loop at the temple.
Yes, I couldn't. I was thinking, is it ear loop? What? And we appear to have lost one of the hooks on the... Lost one of the hooks at the top of the tent. It happens. Well, she's temple looped, and now she's going to put on her little, it's not a snood, it's a what?
Saint Birgitta's cap.
Saint Birgitta's cap. Birgitta. Okay, I'll believe that. Your loops aren't quite even, but it's a demonstration. So you'll notice it's taken her as long to do her hair and put her first piece of headwear on as it did to get dressed. And she's a married lady, so she's wearing her head covered, since it was usually younger ladies who were unmarried who would have their head exposed. Their hair exposed, excuse me. And it is just not cooperating.
No, it's not.
It's like, no, don't Birgitta me. There we go, that's a little better.
Well, you know what we're going to do?
She's going to pin it with a veil pin. Okay.
There.
And now she's going to try to wear a headscarf.
No, this is just a veil.
She's going to put her little veil on, which covers up most of the pretty little Birgitta cap. It's not quite the normal Whipple and veil, but the Whipple seems to not have been as popular in Spain.
Spain did a lot of fun.
Spain does some interesting things. Good Sir James Douglas died in Spain, fighting against the Saracens, carrying Robert the Bruce's heart into crusade against them. So there is a lot of connection between the Scots and the Spanish, being that the Spanish are Iberian Celts, and the Scots are, well, the Scots are descended from a bunch of different people, but they are also of Celtic descent.
Alright, serviette.
And her little serviette, and her tiny little purse that she has looped on. So now, Kim is fully dressed. From her little turn shoes, as I try not to get my knees in the shot, her little turn shoes to her silver-plated belt, her silk underdress, her wool overdress over her linen
I don't
underdress.
think any of this is silk.
I thought the green is also linen. So a linen middle dress, a wool outer dress, a linen underdress or kirtle, linen underpants, and she has her little 14th century spectacles on. So if I can get it to zoom, there we go. As they fall off of her pretty little face. They are usually tied on, but yes, notice that it is super duper goggles for eyes here, and her little braids are a little bit loopy. But now take the goggles off and look at how cute little 14th century Kim is. So that is a kind of lower nobility, mid nobility maybe.
Some rings.
She's got her little rings on. Let's show you the rings. And that is her getting dressed in 14 minutes. Look at the smile. New record. And that was with no help. Be sure to like and subscribe. And later we'll do me getting dressed and me getting in armor. The obligatory how does the armor go on video that everybody does. Which will take probably 40 minutes.